This video is a case study about a voice system that we built out for a gym that was missing dozens of calls every single week. So the issue with this gym was they had non-typical business hours, to say the least. As you can see here, they had gym hours based on their class schedules. So what does that mean? So between their 7 to 8 a.m. class, their gym would be open, someone would be there, they'd be able to answer the phones. But then from 8 to 10 a.m., which is typically when their next class was, the gym would be closed and their phone on site, which is a landline, would ring, but no one was there to answer. And so then they'd have their 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 p.m. classes, sometimes a 1 p.m. class. But then after that 1 p.m. class ends at, let's say, 2 p.m., or their 12 p.m. class on the days where they don't have a 1 p.m. class ends from, let's say, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., their gym would again be closed and no one would be there on site to be able to answer the phone. And then finally, they have their 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. classes, and someone would be there on site, but then after that, again, business hours are closed. So because of these non-traditional business hours where, typically a gym might be open from like a 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., and there's always someone able to answer the phone, customers would call and not be able to get an answer because there's no one there to pick up the phone. And as you might imagine, this is a problem because if you try to call a lead back 3 hours after they called you, usually they don't answer the phone. And even if they do, by that point, they may have already looked at other options and decided to go with someone else. So the solution we came up with was to build a custom voice assistant using a combination of N8N, VAPI, and Lovable for actually something unique to this business that I did. So the VAPI was used for creating an AI voice assistant that was trained off of the most common questions the gym was asked. For this particular gym, it was, how does your 1 week free trial work? What do I need to bring to my first class? And what are the beginner classes that someone who's new to martial arts should train? And so for that gym, that was all I really needed to answer. Then N8N was used in order to basically process any transcripts and create a summary of that call to Lovable, where we made a dashboard. The reason we decided to make a dashboard using Lovable, which is a AI coding platform for this particular client, was because the owner wouldn't always be there, which means that the receptionist, who typically didn't have access to his phone or his email address, there would be an issue because they can't actually see who just called them, and they don't have access to that phone number, they don't have access to that call summary. And so that dashboard was made in order for the receptionist to be able to see, oh, okay, this is the call that was missed, I can call this person back if I need to, yada yada yada. Result, I thought this was actually a pretty extraordinary result, but in less than 3 weeks of it being basically implemented, it recovered 50 calls, which I think is mind blowing for this particular business, because their average customer's value is $180 to $200 a month. And so, just for the purpose of making the math easy, let's say it was $200 a month. That's $10,000 of potential revenue that's recaptured. And also, that lead information is now captured as well with that phone number. So, just a pretty cool example of what AI, as well as most automation and some of the newer technology, can do for your business.